Okay, folks, welcome back. You know the drill by now. New week, a new realm. Let's just get right into it. Realm number 5, here we go. Into the newly created portal. And right off the bat, we've got a glowy hidden object section. So let's check out what's going on here. We'll go through this item by item. Squirrel is up here. The hat is here. Purse is here. Oil lamp right there. Mask is here. Hourglass on the table. Scales over here. Bell is right there. Mantis is up top here. Decanter is this guy here. Painting is here in the background. And the seahorse is in here in the shelf hiding there. Okay, joke. And for our troubles, we are given the cellar key. Okay. Let's zoom in on this totem pole looking guy here. There's actually another totem pole over here, but first we'll look on the colorful looking one here. Right off the bat, we get to collect this emerald eye, but that activates sort of a puzzle here. The idea is that each of these musical note tokens inside of this machine here, we've got to get in line with the one that it matches. So this would be an eighth note. Sorry, it's been a long time since I've read sheet music. That would be an eighth note, and then that's a 16th note and a 32nd note, I guess it's called. Anyway, the idea is that you line them up simply by dropping a token on top of one of these columns, and then the corresponding one drops out, and then that's the one that you get to then drop in the top somewhere. So the free one we're given right here on the bottom, we can just grab that and then drop that wherever we want. So first we'll drop it into the first column, and then we'll pick that one up and drop it right back into the first column again, and you kind of get how this works. We can now drop that into the second one, and then into the first, now over into the third column, and again in the third, then in the second column, then the third column, and then back into the first. And look at that. Now that we've lined them all up, we now get the gear wheel. Okay. If we look over onto the door here, we can't get into the door because it's locked, but there's a mushroom-shaped impression on the door, so we can take our mushroom out of our inventory and add that right into the door, and now we gain access to this lovely treehouse here. Okay, now that we're inside, let's zoom in on this portrait over here. Well, it's not really, it looked like it was a portrait from afar, but anyway, we've got these shattered, looks like a teapot and a couple of, I guess that's like a mug and maybe like a sugar bowl or something. Anyway, all the pieces are scattered all over the place and we have to reassemble them. So you just click on the piece and then drag it to where you want it to go, and then click again to place it there. And if it's supposed to go there, then it will have done what it just did, which is kind of glue itself back in. But if you take a piece and try to put it somewhere where it doesn't belong and you click, it's just going to zip right back to where it was. So let's start with the big pieces first, because those obviously belong to the biggest piece here in the middle of the teapot. So I believe that piece goes there. This piece goes right here, I think. This piece here. This piece goes right there, I think. Then, let's see, this piece here is the top part. And this piece hiding right there is the last piece there. Okay, for these two, these parts are kind of hard to distinguish between what goes where. Let's see, I think this one might belong here. Yeah, right there. Okay. This guy here, I think, is... Goodness, where does he go? Right here. That's where. This guy, where does he go? I think over here? Yeah, there we go. This piece, right there. This piece goes right there. This piece, I think here, yep. And then this piece, I think, is here, yep. This piece is right there. This guy goes here. This piece here is right there. And then the last final piece completes all three. And now we are given the empty cup. Okay. We can see there's a cellar door down here on the bottom here. So if we zoom in on it here, we can use the cellar key that we got outside and use it there. And then we'll open it up. And before we go downstairs, we can also pick up this shuriken that was sticking in the frame there. And now we can just go down into the basement. Lots to do down here, but for now we're just going to do a couple of things. First, we can zoom in on the cabinet back here, and then click again on the door to swing it open, and we can grab this beetle right out of the middle. Okay. And then, if we look up top here, there's some, like, herbs kind of hanging off this line here, as well as a donut, so we can just grab the donut right off the line. And then we can go back and use the scissors. This will be the second time we've used this item, so this will finally use it up. Use the scissors on the herbs and cut some of them down. Okay, well, it's calling it grass, but you get the picture. I think that's all we need to do here for now, so we'll go back up. If we zoom in on this toucan bird here, we give him the donut. And he's so happy with the gift that he gives us the wrench that was hanging around his neck. Okay, now we can zoom in on this tiki-looking guy here. What we can do is return the other emerald eye to him. And then we can take the grass that we just got and put it into his mouth, and he'll chomp it up into some grain for us. So we can pick that up there. Seeds. Okay. Okay, let's get out of here. Now we can look in on that other totem pole sort of thing there, and it's got a beetle impression in its tongue there, so we can add the beetle into that, and he releases this walnut. Let's go back inside and go back downstairs, and if we zoom in on here, this sack here, there's sort of this like a nutcracker thing on top, so we can take the walnut and add it to it right there, and it cracks it open for us. Great. Okay, let's back out of here and back outside one more time, and you'll see now this area is once again glowing. So, second wave of hidden objects. Once more, let's go through the whole list one by one. The hook is up here. Coffee grinder is there. Shuttlecock is here next to where the seahorse was. The apple on the table. Spinning rod is right there. Violin also on the table. Pyramid is hidden right there. It's this green looking object there. Grapes are up top here. The gramophone is over here. Boa, hard to miss there. The broom is underneath the table there, and the umbrella is right here. Okay. And that gives us the rope. So now here's what we're going to do. Go back inside, zoom in on the workbench back here, and what we do is first we put the nutshell on the table, then we take the seeds that we got and place them right there, and then we take the rope and place it right there. Now that all three items are on the table, we have to do this in a specific order, as it's kind of, there's a bit of a clue there. First we take the seeds from right there, and you got to be kind of particular about where you click on the seeds. For some reason it's got to be right in that section. I found that if you try kind of clicking off around here, for some reason it won't activate. So you click right there and then move and drag the seeds into that half of the coconut shell, or the walnut I guess it was, and by doing so it automatically kind of puts the handle into it there. And now to complete the sequence, now we click on the string or the rope and then click on that half of the shell again, and it assembles this whole maraca that we can now pick up. And we wanted that because we want to go back down to the cellar, look up here in the top corner with these bats here, and we're going to shake our maraca at the bats, which spooks them away. And now we can take our, well again it calls it a vice, it's more like forceps, and we use those to take down that delicate bike chain. So we got the bike chain, and now we're back out here, back out to the front, and zoom in on this gear mechanism here. I didn't point this out before, but you can see it looks like it controls this sort of a I don't even know what you call it, like a ski lift sort of a pulley system that is going to take us across this canyon here that's in the background. That's the only way to progress. So we zoom in on the gears here. We take the gear wheel that we didn't have before and add it right there, and then we take the bike chain that we just got and add it, and that makes the whole mechanism now start to work. So it automatically zips us ahead to the next screen. Okay, first what we're going to do is you'll see there's a door here on this platform with a switch. So if we, let's see, if we zoom in on the door and then, let's see, we can't, Oh, this is what we want to use the wrench for. That's right, I forgot. We use the wrench on that, so that gets that gear working, and now we can click on the lever, and that opens up to reveal this object here. It says a mosaic fragment. That's kind of weird, but we'll get back to that later. Okay, we got that. Here you can see there's another canyon here, so we got to use this basket ride to go forward once more. But before we move on, this is very easy to overlook. You might not even know that you can do this unless you get really desperate and you start using your hints to figure out that you can do this. But what you can actually do is zoom in on the basket and then use the goblin to actually like tear a hole right in the wicker. There's like no clue other than using hints that you can do that, so that's a little bit obscure. But anyway, that's how you get this object here. Lock piece looks like half of kind of a yin-yang sort of a symbol almost. Okay, so we got the lock piece. All right, get out of here. There's something that we can do over here too, but we'll come back to that momentarily. First, we're going to zoom over to the next screen here. And what we can do here first is we're going to zoom in right here. There's a toolbox with a bunch of crap in it. So if we just click on some of these objects one by one to move them out of the way, and now we get access to the fan that we can actually pick up. So pick up the fan, and then we can also pick up the saw underneath it as well. 2 new objects. All right. What we're going to do is move forward to the screen. Okay. First, hidden object zone. Glowing sparkly gold. You know what that means. More hidden objects. Okay. The crown is here. Toadstool there. Pouch here. Spider there. Raven is right here. Snail there. Candelabra is right here. Okay, I think this is the first time we've encountered this. You'll see this a couple more times from here on out, is that it'll say the object you're looking for and then denoted by a number. So what that means is we have to find 3 similar looking leaves. So there's leaf number 1, number 2, and number 3. There we go. Walnut is there. Blue flower is here. The beads are here. And the pear is right there. Okay. And we get the tongs. Excellent. Okay. Next, we're going to zoom in way up top here to this statue of a lady here. And she's got some moss here on her torso, so we can actually grab the moss right off of the statue. Okay, let's get off of here. And now if we zoom in down on the waterfall, first we can pick up this scoop, this sort of trowel right out of there. And then the next thing we can do is if we go back and get the cup and put it in the water, we can fill the cup up with water. Okay, excellent. Let's back up a screen and back up a screen again. Now we're going to zoom in over here. So the idea is that this is sort of a duality of water versus fire. So this water-activated crystal, we simply pour the cup of water on the crystal. And by doing so, it powers up the flame over on this side, which heats up that coal. So we'll wait for it to get nice and hot. There we go. Now we pull the lever. So the coal drops down here, and then we can use the tongs that we just got to pick up the hot coal. Okay. Let's go forward to screen now. If we zoom in on this, also sort of a totem pole looking kind of an object. It's a theme in this realm you've noticed by now. And you see there's sort of like a fire symbol here, so that indicates that we need to heat it up. So we can use the hot coal that we just got and put it in the side of this sort of a furnace almost, and by doing so it opens up the jaws and we now have access to the pine cone inside. Okay, let's move back forward again, and you'll see now this area has been reactivated. Second hidden object area. Okay, let's do it again. This time we're looking for the acorn, which is right there. Petal, again, it's denoted with a 3, so 3 similar looking petals. So there's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. The glasses are right there. The cherry is here. Binoculars over here. Red flower there. Handkerchief, pine cone, clock, pearl shell. Butterfly is, this one was tricky. It's hiding here behind the spider web. And the candle right there in front. Okay, now we get, the other lock piece. Excellent. So now we can back out of here and zoom in on this gate here. You can see there are 2 spots for the 2 lock pieces. Add one and add the other, and that will open up the gate. And now we can go down here, this dungeon looking area here. Okay, first we can zoom in down here. can see there's like the drain, the whole floor here. I'm just going to get back out and point out that this area is flooded, right? So if you look at the drain, you can see the drain is being blocked by this other weird looking thing. So if we take the scoop, use it on that piece of debris, and now we can dig up and pick that up, and it's a second mosaic fragment. So that sort of drains the floor a little bit, but still not completely. But if we zoom in on the background here, we can see that there's 2 mosaic fragments missing. So we can just add to it the ones we've collected. And that somehow, I don't understand the explanation behind that, but that magically cleared up the rest of the water. So by doing so, we can now approach this dog over here that's made out of leaves. That's kind of weird. It looks really sad, but if we offer him some moss, for some reason that reinvigorates him, and he grants us a tambourine. And he's apparently so strong that he's apparently able to break free of his chains and take off, leaving a leaf behind for us to collect. So we'll do the leaf, and then one last thing here. If we look up on this windowsill here into the dungeon, and if we use the saw that we got earlier and saw off one of those wooden gate bars, I guess, we get a sharpened stick. Okay, let's get out of here. Let's go forward into this screen here again, and if we look up to our statue friend here and offer her the tambourine, oops, right there. Ooh. It's like Evanescence, just brought her to life. Can't wake up. All right. And that magically brought all of these flowers to life. It made them blossom, and by doing so, we can now zoom in on this flower and collect it. So we got the magic flower. Okay. Trying to think if there's anything else that we need. I think that's it. No, okay, so we'll go back a screen. And now the final thing to do over here is we can actually go over to this tree here. And you'll see there's all these sort of like Christmas ornaments kind of hanging off of this evergreen tree with the 3 symbols that are missing on it. So now we can add the objects that we've collected to their corresponding positions. The pine cone, the leaf, and then the magic flower. And by doing so, it now activates a new puzzle that is sort of a matching memory type of game. So the idea is that you click on one to flip it over, and then you click on another one to see what's on the other side, and you see they didn't match, so then they flipped right around again. So the idea is you just got to kind of match up all of the symbols. Now, no matter how many times I've played this game, I can't seem to maintain a very good memory of where they all are. So you're just, I'm sorry to say, going to have to bear with me here as I try to remember where everything is. You'd think after playing this game as many times as I have, I would have an easier time remembering. I guess I'm not doing too bad here, though. There we go. And now we got them all. Okay. That was not too painful. And look at that. Just like that. We get the new desert token. Bring up our good old Amulet of Dreams. Add the token to it. And open ourselves a new portal to another realm. And just looking through the portal, it looks like this one is going to be a desert world. So stay tuned until next week for that.